You know the sayings, everything's bigger in Texas or everything's better than Texas? Well, I'm from Texas and I love Texas, and I would agree that there are a lot of things that are bigger and better in Texas. 3 reasons for why I love Texas are because of the weather, because of the big cities and the small towns, and Texas's location within the U.S., as well as the sports teams and the colleges and universities in Texas. Well, I've lived here my whole life, but I've also traveled around the U.S. and around the world, and there's truly no place I'd rather be than in Texas. Now that I've told you what I'm talking about today, I'm going to tell you about why I love Texas because of the weather. It is really hot in Texas, especially during the summer, and it's a little humid, but not too humid, and it's definitely not too dry. But I love wearing flip-flops, and you can wear flip-flops in Texas about 10 months out of the year. So if you love wearing flip-flops, you would also love Texas because of its great flip-flop weather. It is really hot during the summer, but I love the heat. I love being cold in a restaurant and walking out in the middle of the summer and just defrosting from all that Texas heat. Now that I've told you why I love Texas because of the weather, I'm going to tell you about the big cities and the small towns and Texas's great location within the U.S. For big cities, we've got Austin and San Antonio and Dallas and Houston. Austin and San Antonio hold good historical importance because there's the Alamo in San Antonio and the state capitol in Austin. But with Dallas and Houston, you get the big city atmosphere with the tall buildings, the traffic, and the great shopping with department stores. You no longer have to go to New York to hit up all the big retail stores like Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue. You can do it right here in Texas. In addition to the big cities, there's also the small towns like Salado and the Germantown Fredericksburg and Brenham and Waco and El Paso. Fredericksburg provides great antique shopping. You can stay in a bed and breakfast and eat real German food. In Brenham, you can visit the Bluebell Homemade Ice Cream Factory, sample some of their ice cream, and have a great time in a little small town. In addition to the big cities and the small towns, Texas is located in a great place within the U.S. It's bordered by Oklahoma and Louisiana, which provides a short trip to a casino. There's also Colorado and New Mexico for great hiking and snow skiing and outdoor adventures. But on the southern border of Texas, you've got beaches like Galveston and South Padre Island. Then there's Mexico, which provides easy international traveling, and you can visit some of the great beaches down there as well. Or if you just want to stay inside of Texas, you can drive for about 10 hours and still be within the same state. In addition to the big cities and the small towns and the great location in Texas, there's also sports teams and great universities. We have 4 major sports teams. The Dallas Mavericks, who play basketball. I'm not even a huge basketball fan, but I started watching them a couple years ago and have become a big fan, and I can go to their games right here in Texas. There's also the Texas Rangers, who play in Texas also. Who doesn't enjoy sitting out in the Texas heat eating a hot dog and going and watching baseball? There's also the Dallas Stars, who won the Stanley Cup about 10 years ago, and you can watch them play here in Dallas. There's also the Dallas Cowboys, who have great cheerleaders, and their games are always fun to go to as well. Along with the great sports teams, there's also great colleges and universities. There's public schools like University of Texas, Texas Tech University, and Texas A&M University, who have that great school spirit and Texas pride. In addition, there's small private universities like Trinity University in San Antonio, Baylor University in Waco, Southern Methodist University in Dallas, and Rice University in Houston. Together, these public schools and private schools and the sports teams all help create a great Texas pride that is really unique to this state. I've told you about why I love Texas because of the weather, because of the big cities and the small towns, and Texas's location within the U.S. And I've also told you about the sports teams and great universities and colleges here. So next time you hear someone say that something's bigger or something's better in Texas, go ahead and agree with them, because you heard it from a native who's given you 3 great reasons why you should love Texas too.